Alright, welcome to part 2 of this 4-part series. The next minute or two will be a recap of the previous episode and just me talking. If that doesn't interest you, then I'll have a caption on the screen saying where you should skip to in this video so you don't have to listen to this. First things first, I have decided to revoke the whole veteran Stardew Valley athlete thing. It's finally dawned on me that I'm not as good at this game as I thought I was, and I don't deserve that title. So from now on, the titles of the videos in this series will be something like I played through the month of summer, or Stardew Valley Scallywag plays through the month of winter, or I don't know, I'll figure something out. Anyway, in case anybody is new to this series, the point of it is to use mods to my advantage in order to get as close to perfection by the end of year 1 as I possibly can. In the previous episode, we played through the month of spring and ended up in a fairly decent spot. We have a good bit of gold, and we've made some nice progress on the monster eradication goals, the shipping one of every item goal, the fishing collection, yada yada yada. There's not much else to say about spring, so I'm going to stop wasting your time and we'll get into the video. Right, it's the beginning of summer and we're doing quite nicely for ourselves right about now. We earned almost 400,000 gold in total during spring. Our skills are looking pretty decent too. The main one to improve is combat, but sure look, we'll get that done while we're working through the Adventurers Guild goals. Our friendships are okay, they need some work, but we'll get there. But enough lollygagging, let's begin and absolutely victimize the month of summer. We start day 1 by buying 25 of each summer crop available for purchase in Pierre's store, but I'm not even close to being done. I also buy a total of 267 blueberry seeds. They call me the blueberry buffoon. I said this during the spring video, but I absolutely adore the tractor. Look at this. This is complete streamlined proficiency. I don't know where I would be without this beautiful tractor. Next, it's off to the museum to donate a chicken statue and prove to Walter that I care about him and his museum collection. I don't really. Next on the agenda is a visit to the Next on the agenda is a visit to the artist known as Clint, where I pick up my copper axe. This day is going quite well so far, which means something bad has to happen. And it does. I go to buy a bus ticket to Calico Desert, but I don't have enough gold to pay for it. That's embarrassing. Instead, I walk to the desert and spend the rest of the day in the Skull Caverns. The entirety of day 2 is spent in the Skull Cavern. I really want to get started on producing a ton of gold and iridium bars, so I need all the ores I can get my greedy, soft hands on. Day 3 begins with the throwing of several ores into a chest. The automate mod I have installed then automatically fills the furnaces beside this chest with the ores and coal needed to produce bars. I then throw some items into my shipping bin, and just when you thought I was about to go a full day without entering the Skull Cavern, I do the unexpected. I go back to the Skull Cavern. To end the day, I throw some more items into my shipping bin. My wallet is feeling a bit light at the moment, so I want to change that. Consider the change in effect already because we received just over 60,000 gold for the items we shipped today. On day 4, it's time to pay a visit to the museum. I want to get the museum collection finished as soon as I can, so I'll be dedicating a few days specifically to finding minerals and artifacts this month. Next, we make a stop at the home of our Georgia overlord in order to purchase the bridge upgrade. I still feel slightly ashamed every time I go into this shop. I take 300 wood to the beach and use it to repair the bridge there so that I can gain access to some beach forage that I need to ship for one of the requirements for perfection. I spent some time doing a bit of ocean fishing before I head to Robbins and purchase a barn for my island. Some more fishing has to be done at the mountain lake as well as on level 20 of the mines. I head back to my farm and throw 41 iridium bars into my shipping bin to end this delightful day. It's a stormy day on day 5, so I craft some lightning rods in order to collect battery packs from them later on. I place all of these lightning rods beside my house, and then it's off to the beach where I do some fishing and purchase crab pots and bait from Willie. I head to Clint's and ask him to upgrade my axe again, then buy the minecart community development project thingy from Morris, then it's back to my island. I harvest the wheat that has grown and throw it into my shipping bin. In the desert, I finally catch the scorpion carp, then do some scallywagism in the Skull Cavern. My Skull Cavern adventure ends with me getting many delicious items, including a prismatic shard and a red cabbage seed. I return to my farm to plant this seed, then put a scarecrow beside it because I'm not taking any chances with this one. I need that red cabbage seed to grow. It's day 6, baby, and full disclosure, I have no idea what I was doing at the start of this day. I took a lot of fish out of a chest, put some back into a chest, then went to the beach and put all of these fish into the chest I set up beside my crab pots. After that little kerfuffle, it's off to the Georgia shop where I purchased the final community development project. I am now a certified Georgia Joker. In what turns out to be one of the most satisfying things I've ever done in this game, I use my tractor to rinse the quarry of everything valuable it has. I then make my way through the quarry mine and collect the golden scythe at the end. At this point I'm curious to how close we are to completing the monster eradication goal, so I take a look. Honestly, it's looking pretty good. I'll keep working away at these during any downtime and they'll be done pretty soon, I reckon. I spent some time working on the monster eradication goals. You know what? Meg. I can't be bothered saying monster eradication goals every time, so from now on I'm just going to call them Meg. I head back to my island to throw some tasty wares into my shipping bin and then head to Sleepy Town. The entirety of Day 7 is spent brutalizing the inhabitants of the Pelican Town mines in order to complete the Meg. On Day 8, I finally get shown some proper respect in this town when Joja organises a party in my honour. He also gives me a soda machine. I like Morris now. If you've got a problem with Morris, then you've got a problem with me, and I suggest you let that one marinate. It's time to go from being a Joja Joker to being the Joja King. That's right, it's time to buy the cinema upgrade for No, okay, well, there you go. Okay, my quest to become the Joja King must wait a while, unfortunately. I don't have the facilities for that. I head to Clint's to collect my steel axe, then buy a good few artifacts from him. You have no idea how much I love the shop overhaul mods. The museum collection would be a nightmare without it. Our museum is looking quite sensational at the moment, but there's still a few things missing. I head to Clint's to get a lot of geodes opened up, then it's back to the Skull Cavern for the rest of the day. Day 9 is once again spent in the mines. I really want to get the Meg over with. This is taking up so much of my time. On Day 10, I give a plate of spaghetti to Pamela, then head to... It's not funny. Then head to the museum to donate even more items. We're actually pretty close to finishing the museum collection now. To end the day, I throw a couple of radishes that I harvested into my shipping bin. On Day 11, I head to the Lao Festival, where I throw something into the soup. I forget what exactly I threw in there, but it can't have been very good considering I got the "this soup is alright" dialogue line from the governor. I'm pretty sure it was a gold star radish, so I feel like the governor is a bit ungrateful. I also bought a star fruit at the festival, which I could have thrown into the soup, but on Day 11, I start by axing Clint to upgrade my axe. Get it? Axing him to... I'm not funny. Anyway, it's finally time to finish the museum collection. I would like to thank Treasure Chests, Artifact Troves, Artifact Spots, and of course the shop overhaul mods for making this possible. I would have cried every single day if it wasn't for these things. You know what? Props to Clint for actually selling most of the artifacts I needed, and a ton of geodes. He's a good man. 13 is supposedly an unlucky number, so I went straight to sleep on Day 13. On Day 14, I start with a visit to Clint's where I ask how he is doing. Get it? How he is doing, because I upgraded my hoe. I'm going to stop now, I'm sorry. Pretty much every crop I planted except for the blueberries and ancient fruit are ready on Day 15, so I harvest all of them. I then throw all of them except the blueberries into my shipping bin and head to Robin's and buy the hardwood I need for the boat repair. I head to Willie's and donate the iridium bars and battery packs he needs, but unfortunately I need 200 hardwood, not 100. I'm feeling a bit lackadaisical after that mistake. I sell my blueberries to Pierre and keep working on the Meg. I reach level 10 in farming, but that's not what is important. What is important is I made 35,000 gold from the crops I sold today. On the morning of Day 16, it's time to completely clear out my island of any trees, saplings, rocks, yada yada yada. I've sort of neglected the appearance of my island up to this point, so I want to at least get a start on making it look nice. I want everyone to know that I'm a good person, so I am straight up showing you all me accepting a quest to get a sunfish for Shane. I catch the sunfish without any hassle whatsoever, then go to the Joja shop to give it to the shining star known as Shane. I've decided this time to plant more crops on my farm, but because it's Tuesday, multiple villagers are in Pierre's store. Once again, this is how effective the part of the community mod is at getting friendship points. If you manage to find a few villagers in the same room, then you're going to make a gang of friendship points. I then buy a full stack of 999 radish seeds because they grow relatively quickly, as well as 836 pepper seeds. I'm hoping this gets me to at least 100,000 gold. We need as much gold as we can get our hands on for the 4 obelisks. Next, it's back to my island so I can plant my new seeds, except I can't plant them because Clint has my hoe. This is truly a sad day for the Scallywag nation. I'll be back in a moment. After collecting my hoe from Clint, I get to work on planting all 1,835 seeds that I bought. The rest of the day is spent in the mines where I work on the Meg. I'm going to stop acknowledging the Meg now. You all know I'm working on it, so I don't have to say it anymore. To end the day, I spend some time with my furnaces and make sure they're feeling alright. Then I put some gold and iron bars into my shipping bin so I can get some more gold for what I have planned tomorrow. I'm fairly certain I said at some point that I won't be showing me watering my crops, but I have to show you all the level of tomfoolery on my farm right now. Almost every single space is taken up by a crop. If I didn't have this tractor, then I would need at least 100 iridium sprinklers to water all of these crops. Probably so much more than that actually, now that I think about it. Anyway, our hops are ready for harvest, so I collect them, then I head into my cave to pick up all the fruit inside. I throw the fruit and some hops into the shipping bin for the ship one of every crop and forage item requirement, then it's off to Piers, never mind. It's off to Robin's, where I buy all of the crafting recipes she has for sale. I purchase 50 hardwood from her, as well as a couple of kegs, tappers, and preserves jars, and a bee house. And then it's off to the beach. I do some foraging, take some of the fish out of the chest that I left beside my crab pots, sell said fish to William, then finally donate the 200 hardwood needed to repair the boat. It's time to pay a visit to the big guy, Gustavo, where I need to stop laughing every time I make dumb jokes. Where I buy the cooking recipes he sells. I need to make wine, juice, pickles, jam, and pale ale, so I throw hops, fruits, and vegetables into the kegs and preserves jars I bought. I also set up the bee house so I can get some honey. Then I throw some items into my shipping bin. Alright, you know the story by now. I'll keep doing it to work towards perfection and earn gold, but I'm not going to say anything about my shipping bin anymore. Probably. I might do it a few times. I don't know. I put 3 different saplings into my greenhouse along with a bunch of mixed seeds and rice shoots. Then I head to the north of the town to start the wizard's quest. We head to the sewers and talk to Krobus, who opens up the sewer inside the sewer. I spend some time trying to catch the mutant carp, one of the legendary fish. And by some time, I mean a solid 4 minutes. This might not sound like a lot of time, but with the fishing mod I have installed, that's at least 40 times I cast my rod into the water. I collect the dark talisman from the sewer inside the sewer, then do some more fishing and catch the slime jack. I don't have time to finish off the quest today, so that's the end of the 17th of summer. On day 18, I make 2 tea saplings, one to sell and another to plant for tea leaves. Next stop, Ginger Island. Collecting all 130 golden walnuts is a requirement for perfection, so as much as it pains me to do that, I kinda have to, unfortunately. Luckily, the tractor makes it extremely easy to find the walnuts hidden in the ground. The rest of the day is spent collecting golden walnuts, primarily in the north of the island, even more primarily in the volcano dungeon. Day 19 is essentially the same as the previous day in the sense that I spent it collecting the golden walnuts on Ginger Island. Alright, cards on the table, I am suffering. I am a weak man on the island of willpower and strength. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going home. Yeah, I realize at this point that I cast my net way too wide in the sense that I'm trying to do too many things at once. I'm sort of hopping back and forth between the Meg, getting friendship points, shipping items, collecting walnuts, buying crafting and cooking recipes, collecting items needed for those recipes, yada yada yada. I'm going to start focusing on only 2 or 3 things at once. Divide and conquer, you know, that kind of strategy. For the next few days I'll be focusing exclusively on the Meg, really increasing my friendship with all the villagers and earning gold. Right, back to business. It's time to finish the wizard's quest. Our first task is to fish for void mayonnaise for the goblin henchman. I love him so much it hurts. I also use this as an opportunity to catch a void salmon for the fish collection. I give the void mayonnaise to my sweetheart, my darling, the light of my life, then collect the wizard's ink from the witch's house. I return to the wizard to complete the quest, unlocking the ability to buy the obelisks and the golden clock. Yeah, this is going to suck. I completely forgot about needing 10 million gold for the golden clock. But I am a veteran Stardew Valley no I'm not. No I'm not, I forgot, I'm not. I literally said that at the start of this video. Okay, regardless, I will buy that clock and I will put it on my farm. Or maybe I won't. I haven't recorded any footage for winter yet, or even fall. This whole thing might fall apart before I even get to winter, so who knows. On the morning of day 20, I drive around my greenhouse with my tractor. I was definitely trying to point something out here, but I forget what it is, so it can't be that important. Anyhoomst, around 20% of our crops are ready for harvest, so I collect them, then head to Piers and sell them. We need gold. A lot of gold. So it's time to use the old reliable tea sapling strategy. I buy a full stack of 999 summer seeds, then head to Robin's house to buy as much fibre as I can. This ends up being just over 1700 fibre. That's not enough, but I have 4 gold right now, so that's all I can get. Next it's time to clean up the remaining megs. We're doing well. In fact, we're doing very, very well. Thanks to my tractor, as well as sheer willpower and brute strength, we only have the slimes, duggies and magma sprite golds left. I spend most of the day in the mines, then head back to my island to plant the summer seeds I bought. I don't have time to plant them all, but I got over 600 of them planted, so that's not too shabby. Our peppers and a couple other crops are ready on day 21, so I harvest them and sell them to Pierre. Then it's off to Robin's house to buy 4 stacks of fibre and 2 stacks of wood. A quick fishing trip is on the table right now as I need to catch the Dorado fish. At this point I've caught all of the fish I can outside of the remaining Ginger Island ones I didn't catch while I was there, so we're doing pretty good. The rain is having a negative effect on my vibes, so I go to sleep. That's all she wrote for day 9 plus 10. I've definitely used that joke before, but much like an environmental activist, I enjoy recycling. On day 22, we have a cold rapscallion. I watered all of my crops before I realized that all of the radishes were ready for harvest. I have a profound ability to waste my time. This isn't the first time it's happened, and it certainly won't be the last. I made so much more money off those radishes than I thought I would though. Granted, I bought 999 seeds, so it shouldn't be too surprising, but still. I made like 120,000 gold off them. That is exquisite. I then turn around and immediately spend pretty much all of my gold on 999 summer seeds and 401 speed grow. As I'm making my way back to my farm, a very mischievous thought runs through my mind. I have wood, I have fibre, I just bought summer seeds. I can literally make tea saplings right now, I don't need to plant the seeds at all. For scientific reasons, I test this hypothesis and end up with 499 tea saplings. I then sell these tea saplings for almost 250,000 gold. Right, we have a situation here. I spent 82,000 gold on the summer seeds. 5 stacks of 999 fibre cost around 30,000 gold. 5 stacks of 999 wood costs 50,000-ish gold, I think. That's 80,000 gold for those two things. So in total, it cost me 162,000 gold to make 499 tea saplings. I sold those tea saplings for 250,000 gold. That's a profit of almost 90,000 gold. We could repeat that over and over again until we have millions of gold. That's not even taking into consideration the fact that I didn't use all of the fibre and wood I bought, so it probably cost even less just to make 499 tea saplings than I said it did. But that is a bit too much of a menace move, even for my liking, so I'm not going to do that. I'll still make tea saplings, but I'll plant the summer seeds that I buy just so it's more fair. Anyway, it's off to Robin's where I buy a couple of stacks of wood and stone. I already have plenty of wood and stone, but I figure it's only fair that I waste a bit of money after that scoundrelous stunt I just pulled with the tea saplings. I ask Robin to upgrade the coop on my island, and I plant the 401 summer seeds I bought along with the speed grow. I buy a chanterelle, 10 rain totems, and a star drop from Krobus, then buy a farm warp totem and head back to my island once again to deposit the chanterelle into the bin of shipping. The rest of day 22 along with days 23, 24 and 25 are spent finishing the remaining megs in the mines and in the volcano dungeon. On day 26, our greenhouse yields some tasty results. Our crops are ready. Most importantly, the sweet gem berries are ready. Various crops on our actual island are also ready for harvest. I then head to Marnie's with the intention of adopting some of the animals I need to get items for the shipping bin. Things like wool, milk, and eggs. But then I realized that Marnie sells all of these items. Just to reiterate, Marnie will not sell these items in the base game, she sells these because of a mod I've installed. Anyway, rather than upgrading my coop and barn over the course of about 6 to 8 days in total and adopting all of the animals I need, I'm instead going to buy the items from Marnie. But don't worry, at some point I will upgrade my coop and barn and probably build one more of each and adopt all the animals we can. For no reason other than it will probably make my island look very pretty. The travelling cart is selling a Nautilus Shell which we need, so I purchase it with the quickness. I then give a sweet gem berry to the old Master Cannoli statue in the secret woods and receive a star drop in return. I also need dinosaur mayonnaise for the whole shipping requirement, so I put a dinosaur egg into an incubator so it hatches and makes a little dinosaur in the future. I don't know why I did this. I could have just made a mayonnaise machine and put the egg in that. I didn't waste the egg because it's going to make a dinosaur, but at the same time this was a certified Scallywag moment. I head to Robin's with $1 million moves intentions. I buy wood in preparation for the tea sapling production that will occur tomorrow, and I ask her to build a pond on my farm. That's it for day 26. On day 27, it's time to harvest all of the summer forage that has grown and use them to make over 1100 tea saplings. Real quick, shout out to Wickedy for her video about tea saplings. Ever since I watched it, it's been one of my favourite ways to earn gold in the game. Next on the agenda is to buy some fibre from Marnie, chop down trees in the forest with absolute efficiency, and sell the tea saplings to Pierre. We now have almost 700,000 gold. That is a tasty number. I buy a few coffee beans from Pierre, do some fishing on Ginger Island, and then get up to some tomfoolery on the island. We need to collect a total of 100 golden walnuts to access Mr. QI's room, and right now we have 54. Once we unlock it, we can see how much progress we've made in terms of reaching perfection. But I'm not too pushed about it right now. We know what we have to do for perfection, so I suppose the only benefit of unlocking that room would be finding out exactly how much progress we've made up to this point. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure I want to know. If it's below like 40%, then I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm going home to my island and turning the whole place into a flower garden and forgetting about perfection. Anyway, that's it for day 27. Let's move on to the final day of summer. Today is a busy day. To start off, we harvest all of our ancient fruit. Next, it's time to harvest all of the fruit from the trees in our greenhouse and plant some coffee beans inside there. The tea sapling adventure continues as I harvest many summer forage items. They call me the Summer Forage Frolicker. We then head to Robin's to buy copious amounts of wood and fibre. This costs a bit of money, but it'll be worth it when we make our tea saplings. I also bought the tree juices that you get from putting tappers on different trees. I made over 2,000 summer seeds and then made a full stack of 999 tea saplings, which basically means we're about to be so rich that we literally won't know what to do with our money. But I'm not done. I buy even more wood and even more fibre, then I make 146 more tea saplings. It's time to bankrupt Pierre. I sell the tea saplings to the man who doesn't deserve the woman he married. It should have been me. Regardless, we now have 1.3 million gold. I decide to buy a tea sapling and 2 tea leaves to put in my shipping bin later on. I also buy a melon seed and a wheat seed for a quest on Ginger Island. I wanted to head straight to Ginger Island, but the Moonlight Jellies festival is being set up, so we can't access the beach right now, which means we can't get to Willie's boat. I toss the items I bought from Rob and Pierre into my shipping bin, then throw the remaining tea leaf into a keg. I then do what I should have done originally and put a dinosaur egg into a mayonnaise machine. I make even more tea saplings and throw them into the... you get the point. Now it's time to attend my personal favourite festival in the game. The vibe of this festival is truly immaculate. Exquisite. Sensational. I feel like I'm on cloud 9 as I watch the jellyfish swim towards the pier. And by pier I mean the wooden boardwalk, not the guy who runs the shop in Pelican Town. That was a terrible joke. I'm actually sorry for that one. When I get back to my island after the festival, I am delighted to see that my dino mayo and my green tea are ready. Also, we reached level 10 in foraging, which means we have officially completed the goal of achieving level 10 in all skills. And with that, the month of summer is behind us. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.